Alright, so for this week's video, we're doing the first impressions video that I was going to do a while ago, but I wanted to give the foods more than just a week to try out, so I wanted to give them like 2.5, 3 weeks at this point. So this will be my first impressions slash updated impressions of the fish foods that I got from the co-op unboxing from a couple weeks ago. So it'll have the audio from when I was first doing the unboxing, and then I'm going to have the audio from me talking like a week later and then 2 weeks later, and just interjecting on how the fish have liked it so far. I think a couple of you, if you've seen my streams and heard me talk about it, you won't be shocked, but some of you are going to be like, wow, your fish don't like that food. So stay tuned and you can find out what fish food my fish don't like. So for a quick little review here, we got the Hikari Viber bites, we got Hikari Fancy Guppy food, 2 Flupal bug bites, both the Betta formula and the tropical formula, 2 Xtreme foods, and I think that was it. If there's any more, you'll see them in the video. Hello there, it's Editing Lefty. I forgot that I also got the Brine Trip and Spirulina freeze-dried cubes from Hikari, so that's also in here. There will also be a mini announcement at some point in the video, so, you know, keep your ears peeled for that. Though those that caught my stream with Ed on Friday will have already heard it, but you know, we're gonna let everybody know about it. Speaking of which, Chattanooga Ed and I are from now on, are gonna be doing a stream every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it's basically a variety show. We talk about pretty much anything and everything. We talk about fish, we'll talk about games, we'll talk about random pictures we've seen. It's just a jumble of, it's literally a variety show. It's whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about. So that's every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time from now on. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Last night's went pretty well, so that's good. And without further ado, let's get into this week's video. First food is the Flupal bug bites here. I'm really not sure what the difference between the bug bites are. It just looks like the proteins are a little different in all of them. For the most part, the ingredients are roughly the same. I love this container. The top opens up, little pop there, and it gives you the perfect amount for your fish. The fish took them right away. I didn't have to test feed at all. I went and put these in each of the Betta tanks. They all ate it. So it was good right from the get-go. I did test it over a couple days and weeks just to be sure, but they've taken it every time. I have started giving it to my Celestial Pearl Danios now as well, along with the regular Danios in my 10 and the community tank. I'll throw some in there as well. They all love it. This will definitely be a constant buy for me here. Let me just get you some facts here on the bottle real quick. So like all the bug bites, the first ingredient is the black soldier fly larva. Then we have salmon, fish protein concentrate, wheat, potatoes, shrimp meal, and then everything else is just preservatives and vitamin supplements. So for the analysis of the food, we have 45% crude protein, 12.5 crude fat, then it's 5% crude fiber, 10% moisture. We have some 1.5 calcium. Usually you don't see calcium on labels, so that's good to see. Then we've got vitamin A, 2,500 IUs per kilogram. Vitamin D3, 600 IUs. Vitamin E is 75. It says to feed them as much food as your fish will eat in 2 minutes, 2 to 3 times daily. I just open it up. Each tank gets 1 shake. The ones with 2 in them each get half the tank at the shake each. And I do that once or twice a day. They're really tiny though, so it's really nice. They don't have to work too hard to eat them. It's almost like a powder food. It's so finely ground up, which is good. And again, all the fish love this food. It'll be a staple, just like I'm sure all the other bug bites will be once I get to try the whole line. Next food is the Hikari Viber bites. Now, I have been wanting to try these for months now. For those that don't know, there was one video that the Gram Co-op did where they literally went through the store and were just feeding these to literally everything they had. And basically every single fish they fed it to took it. So this was super top of my list to try. It is a little pricier though compared to other fish foods, so that's why I was on the fence by getting it, but I was like, you know what, I want to try some more fish food, so I ended up getting it, and I do not regret it at all. So as you can see, I threw some in the community tank, I also threw some in the Betta sorority tank, and the fish, they go at them. I didn't have to do really anything to entice them to eat it. They first time having it, and they ate it. even the little neon tetras go at it. It's kind of funny to watch them try to eat these. Basically, if I had to describe these to someone, it is a alternative to bloodworms if you cannot find freeze-dried, frozen, or fresh bloodworms. The package even says a unique worm-like stick. So it's, when you see people feed it, or at least when I saw Corey feed it, it looked almost like a gummy worm kind of consistency, but it is more of a firmer, kind of like if you like a pellet. It's a firmer pellet type food. So that was a little bit of a surprise when I was first feeding these, but it's a good food in my opinion. My fish have all taken it. I have taken like 3 or 4 and given them to individual bettas, and they took them, and it's great. Now the packaging just say it's a worm-like shaped fish attack and adore, offering excellent growth and form. They also have a day 1 to day 30 comparison for color, which I'm assuming that means yes. Okay, the back says incredible color enhancing effect, carefully selected color enhancing ingredients, and scientifically blended nutrient mix help bring out brilliant colors of your fish rapidly. That will be something I will have to test, as I've only had it for a couple weeks now, and it does say 30 days, so maybe I'll pick a fish or a certain tank and feed it and see if the color comes out. Not really sure though, because I feed so many different foods. I don't know. I could probably test it on guppies though, because some of my guppies are a little dull in color, so I can see if just feeding this will enhance their color. But yeah, I've given this to everything. I've given it to the African cichlids. They like it. The black neon tetras like it. The rasboras, the bettas, celestial pearl danios, the regular danios. Really, all the fish I have like it. So for some nutrition facts here, let's see. We have 46% crude protein, 7% crude fat, 5% crude fiber, 10% moisture, 13% ash, 15,000 vitamin A per IU, 2,300 vitamin D, 970 vitamin E. And if anyone knows, why do they put moisture counts on food? Is it just, I honestly don't know. So if anyone in the comments wants to tell me, please do. For ingredients, we have fish meal, krill meal, wheat flour, flake corn, brewed dried yeast, cuttlefish meal, wheat germ meal, wheat gluten meal, fish oil, whole crushed silkworm, hydrolyzed vegetable source polyesters, mealworm, and then a bunch of other stuff. So it sounds like it's got some pretty good ingredients. Now I also have to mention, with some big news, first announcement, I know it's crazy, I'm actually going to be getting a care package from Hikari Fish Food. Reached out to them and said, hey, I'm a smaller channel, would you mind working with me? Maybe I can give me some stuff I can give away, this and that. To my surprise, they responded, and after talking back and forth, they're actually sending me a box with 100 test sample size of the Vibra bites. So look for giveaways on future streams and in videos, because if I'm getting a box of 100 of these, I'm just going to be randomly giving away like free candy. So I thought it was pretty neat that Hikari agreed to work with someone that's such a small channel. So just wanted to let you guys know. But full disclaimer, I bought this food weeks before I even contacted Hikari. So what I'm saying to you in this video is all genuine and true, that my fish like it and eat it, which you'll be seeing in this footage anyway. I will say the one thing that I would like differently about the Vibra bites, it does say very slow sinking. As you'll see, I think it's more rapidly sinking. Maybe I just put too much in at a time, but it does seem to fall a little faster than I would like. That's the only cons that I have so far with this food. Pros are all the fish eat it, and it's supposedly color enhancing, which I will be able to test at a longer time. So yeah, enjoy some footage of fish just, eating things that look like bloodworms. our next first impression food, we have the Xtreme Aquatic Foods Krill Flake. Now this was another one like the Vibra bites that I was excited to try out because so many people rant and rave about how good Xtreme fish foods are, so I was like, I'll give it a shot. It's another one that's a little high up there in price compared to other flake foods like Tetras or API or whatever other companies make flake foods. It's decent in the analysis, I guess, for its 38 crude protein, 11 fat, 4 fiber, 1 phosphorus, 10 moisture, and 12 ash. First ingredients are krill meal, fish meal, and shrimp meal, so those are, tasty things for fish. I just think my fish are defective because they don't really like... Okay, first impressions of this. The flakes are a little big for me. I don't like super big flakes because to me they're harder to handle. Packaging looks cool. We got multiple kinds of fish on there. We got some, looks like neon tetras. We got some chili reservoirs. We got shrimp. We've got angels, guppies. It's either a barb or a ram. There's discus, and then there's a couple of tropical or saltwater fish on there as well. So the packaging looks nice and cool. It comes with a sealed lid and everything. But yeah, my fish just, I assumed I would put it in the tank and they'd go for it, but they didn't go for it as well as they go for the Tetra food, which is surprising because I know a lot of people have told me the Tetra food's not the best. I guess it tastes better to my fish. And looking at the ingredients in both, I can see that yes, the Xtreme food has better starting ingredients than the Tetra flake food I feed, but overall it looks like protein-wise anyway, the Tetra flake has higher protein. But we're gonna keep giving this food a try. That's why I wanted to make this video longer. I wanted to see if my fish would slowly get used to it. They got used to it a little bit, not as well as I would like, but luckily my umbunas will eat it because they're used to krill foods, because one of the flakes I feed them is a krill flake. So it's not gonna go to waste. So I can feed it to them if the community tank and the other fish tanks don't take it, like I hope they will. But for now, it's an for me on the Xtreme. I know people are going to be mad. They're going to get hate in the comments because I'm talking against Xtreme food. But I usually have an opinion different than everyone else. So, it's just the norm for me. Everyone else thinks Empire Strikes Back was the best Star Wars movie. I think Return of the Jedi is great. So, I'm a radical outlying number thing. Anyway, here's some footage of the fishies eating some of the krill flake. Okay, so the next one was a bit of a random one. It's the Hikari Spirulina brine shrimp. It's the frozen freeze-dried, not frozen, sorry. I had seen it every now and then pop up on Co-op's website and other websites I'd looked at, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just try it. I like their other freeze-dried foods. Let's give it a whirl and see if the fish like it too. So first impressions, it's basically, if you've seen their freeze-dried brine shrimp or you've seen their freeze-dried tube fix, which I've featured before, it's a brick of food. It's a little cube, maybe 1 by 1-ish. This one's just brine shrimp with spirulina in it. Figured I'd get it. It's got a picture of a guppy on the front, so I figured my guppies might like it. A little something different to give them every now and then. Let's see, we got 48% protein, 5.5 fat, 0.5 fiber, 6 moisture, and then 0.1 phosphorus. It's also got, the ingredients are pretty simple. It's brine shrimp, spirulina, vitamin E, C, B1, B2, B6, and B12. Packaging is very minimalistic like their other freeze-dried foods. You get a few pictures of fish on the front and then just some wordage. But yeah, since I mainly got this to feed the guppies, I went downstairs and threw 1 whole cube in the guppy tank since there's so many down there now, and they went for it. I mean, again, another food that didn't take too much enticing. They just went straight for it. This will be one of those foods that I feed them maybe once a week, every other week. It won't be like a here's your food constantly kind of thing. But I did mainly get these for the guppies just so I have something else to feed them and see if I can get some coloration out of them. Alright, now this one is one that I have been looking at getting for quite some time. Everybody says that it's one of the best foods you can feed your Betta, and since I've gone a bit Betta crazy these days, I, wanted to get more food to give them. Now this food was, I believe, developed with the help of Corey from Aquarium Co-op and their co-op team, which is why we got the really cool little spoon that comes with it, and that's probably the best feature of this food that I can say. Now before you jump all over me, let me explain. My first impression of the food is the pellets are a little big in my, non-professional opinion, just in my hobbyist keeping opinion. I say that because most of the foods I feed my Bettas are nice and small, and I did a comparison of the other foods, so I'll put that in here as well. I did a comparison of the bug bites, both bug bites, or just one bug bite, the Aquarium food that I had that people told me not to feed because it was too big. But then if you look at a comparison of the Aquarium to the Xtreme pellet, the Aquarium's actually smaller. And I never noticed my Bettas having any issue with the Aquarium. So yeah, I think the best feature of this this Betta pellet is the spoon, which I've been using in my bug bites because it makes it much easier to distribute the food. So like the Xtreme Crowflakes, unfortunately my Bettas did not like the Betta pellet. So luckily my Mbunas will eat them so I can give them to them. Now these Bettas in this footage have not been fed yet today. It was their skip day, so they hadn't been fed any food since the day before. So you would think that giving them food, they would be naturally inclined to be starving and want to eat it. As you can see, mine start chewing them a little bit, and then they proceed to spit them out and ignore them. So unfortunately, my Bettas do not like this either. So, I'm 2 for 2 of my fish not liking extreme food and being weird. And everybody I've told that to is like, you got some weird fish, ours love it. And I know they have several other foods in the line, so I will try those at some point as well. But for now, these two are kind of a miss for me, but that's just me. I'm sure I'm the only one that's had fish not like them. Okay, this was about a week-ish later. They start eating them a little bit more, but it's still not like the same or as it is with the other food, and it just to me seems like they have a little more trouble eating them because I have to chew them versus, you know, a smaller bug bite sized food that they just kind of nibble on a little bit and it goes down. So I could probably I feed it to them now and then, but I'm not going to feed this to them all the time. This food is one of the other bug bites. This is the tropical formula for small fish, so it's a slow sinking micro granule, so it's nice and tiny. And again, it's got black soldier fly larvae in it, along with salmon, fish meal, protein, green peas, potatoes, wheat, you know, good stuff. Crude protein's 40%, crude fat's 12.5, fiber is 5, moisture 10, ash 9. See, calcium 1.5, so again, there's calcium on the label here. 2500 IU of vitamin A, 2400 of vitamin D, and 75 of vitamin E. And just like the last one, it's again, feed your fish 2 or 3 times a day, as much as they can eat in 2 minutes. The food is so small, I take a little pinch and give each fish some food. I feed it to the bettas primarily, is what I got it for. But I will also take a scoop, half a scoop of the bottom feeder bugway formula and the rest of the scoop with this and dump it in the community tank, and the fish go crazy. So like I said, bug bites are winning with me. Bug bites and Hikari seem to be my new favorite foods to use. So that'll always be in my fish food collection now. And our last food is another one that I've seen quite often on various, you know, websites, Amazon, Co-op, whatnot. And that's of course another Hikari product. It is the fancy guppy food, though it does say ideal for live bearers, so you can probably use it on your blatties, your mollies, and your endlers and whatnot too. Very high in protein, which I like. It's 50% crude protein, so it's nice and high there. Probably one of the highest, I think, if not the highest, of the foods that I own. 8% crude fat, 2% fiber, 10% moisture, 18% ash. It is 19,000 IUs of vitamin A, 2,800 vitamin D, 850 of E. And yeah, it's super small. It's about the same size as the fluval tropical bug bite, the small granule size. It's a semi-floating protein-rich granule. So they're really pushing the protein on this. It's got another circle. It says protein-packed formula. Supports the nutritional demands of repeated reproduction. So it's a soft granule ideal for all size of smallmouth fish. Microcoating technology locks in nutrients. It's fish meal, wheat flour, soybean meal, krill meal, dried yeast, fish oil, dried seaweed meal, and yeah. So it's nice high in protein food. My guppies love it. I got this bag, not this box. It's the 22 gram size, or the 0.77 ounce size, and I've used just over 2/3 of it in a couple weeks. So my fish are all loving it. I give it primarily to the guppies, but I've also thrown it in the community tank and given some to the bettas as well. So you know, it's another good food. And yeah, I'll be feeding that one for quite some time, I think. While I was listening to the back, I figured I'd look at my other foods. I only have 2 that are higher protein than that, and they're not a granule or a flake. They're actually some of the freeze-dried foods. So the Hikari freeze-dried bloodworms is 65% protein, and the Hikari tube fix is 60%. So those are the only 2 foods that I have that are higher than the fancy guppy. Though I have a feeling the fancy guppy is probably sold more places than the freeze-dried foods, because I know at my local pet stores I have not actually seen the bloodworms or the tube fix before. So just wanted to throw that in here real quick. So yeah, this was the first impressions of some of the newer fish foods I have. I know it sounded like I was ranking on Xtreme a little bit. I know my fish just didn't really seem to like the 2 that I have. So I will feed the krill and the betta pellets to the other fish that I have that do eat them. So that's the African cichlids. I do still want to try the community flake they have. I also want to try their spirulina flake at some point. And I want to try their, I think it's a catfish wafer. So I do want to try those still. There are still other products I want to try, so, you know, open-minded here, so I'm sure I will find some Xtreme product that my fish all like instead of just one tank. So I want to say thank you all for watching. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe button, the bell, all that good jazz. Don't forget, from now on, Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern, Chattanooga Ed and myself are doing a stream. It'll either be an hour or 2 hours, depending on if there's anyone at the slot after us. So you'll have to tune in to find out then. Also, thank you to Hikari for deciding to support my small little channel here and sending me some goodies to give everybody. So look out for giveaways. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to leave a comment if you liked the video or didn't like the video. Let me know in the comment section if there's any fish foods you guys want to try out, because I'm always looking for new stuff. Also, if anyone can answer that moisture question of the fish food, greatly appreciate it. Okay, thanks y'all for... So I guess I have another announcement. While I was getting ready to, you know, export this and upload it and whatnot, I got a message from Diego over at PetSotics/multiple aquariums website. So he has given me a 20% off code that's good for one order and expires August 30th. So it is Lefty20. So if you head on over to his website, I'll put the link here and in the description. And you put in Lefty20 on, I'm assuming there's a discount code section, you can get 20% off your order. And again, that expires August 30th. So thank you so much, Diego, for that. Diego will also be sponsoring some prizes for our Project Animantoid contest coming up, almost at Basilia. That also starts in August. So a lot of stuff to look forward to coming up. So yeah, make sure you head on over to his website and check it out. Got some pretty cool stuff up there.